Californian on your schedule, anytime, anywhere, anyplace. Get your new Bakersfield Californian e-edition today. Visit eedition.bakersfield.com.
Oh, we are back, and we with the youngest, oldest 16-year-old in Kern County. I think we got
sitting to my left here. I was when the camera come on. I was so excited, still reading about Cedric and all that motivation. Anyway, I'd like to welcome to the set of Open Up Again our dear friend that we love so much, Phil Rudnick.
You know, I have to tell you, Tina and Don.
Yes, sir.
That today I really have some breaking news for you and all of your 30,000 listeners out there.
Especially here in Kern County. Go ahead.
Yes.
And here's what I want to tell you. This is the answer to Richard Bean's question about Bakersfield history.
Now, Richard Bean being the president of this paper in the studio we're sitting in.
Okay, and he's asking through a friend of mine, J.J. Gianquinto, who inquired who is the name of the person that rode their horse into the bar of the old El Cajon Hotel. Now, I'm going to give you what I think is an eyewitness account. First of all,
now when did this happen, roughly?
1932.
All right.
My brother Milton, who was 5 years older than I, was riding behind him on the horse. The man's name was George Hoskins. He was a cattle buyer for my father and a cowboy. And this was on Frontier Days in Kern County. Oh. And in those days, I want to tell you, there was a lot happening in Kern County on Frontier Days. And what happened is that George, who used to drink a little more than he needed to, was riding his favorite horse, and the horse's name was Cacahuate. Do you know what that means in English?
I'm afraid to ask.
I was going to pronounce it, but I better not.
I want to tell you.
Now, this is a family show.
I better explain it. Cacahuate means peanut.
Okay.
All right.
In Spanish. Okay. And he had his favorite horse, Peanut, and my brother Milton, who I just confirmed this with moments before your program, said it wasn't the El Cajon Hotel, it was the Padre Hotel.
Ah.
Not only did they ride into the bar, but they rode up the elevator, a horseback, with a 5-year-old on the back of the horse. Now, those were the fun days, but those were the days where there were very limited supervision, and people could do the kind of things that they felt like at the moment.
I've seen it in the movies, but so it happened right here.
So, Mr. Bean, you have at least one authentic explanation and answer to Mr. Gianquinto's question.
Aw, wonderful. Thank you, Phil.
Phil, what do you think of what you heard? You're sitting over here listening to Cedric. What did you think about all that?
You know, all the way from Doug Carter this morning, the first segment of yours, and I knew his father, Warren, very well, both while he was active in agriculture. He was a giant in agriculture.
Yes.
He became a giant in real estate and really a giant in the community. And I'm so proud to see his son, Doug, follow in his footsteps and add to the great reputation and the great history that his father created.
Well said.
You know, Doug and his brother Ken Carter have both taken up their father's legacy and are really making an impact in this community, just as Warren did. Warren, for one thing, pioneered almond growing here in the valley, and now it's one of our major crops. But everything he seemed to touch seemed to turn big and prosperous.
Yes.
Right. I was very close to all that agricultural because in my former life as a lawyer, I represented many of the farming families during the drought of 1977-78 and handled the emergency loan applications for them. Fortunately, we were able to get enough funds where these people could preserve their farms and later on get the benefit of the true value. And so I worked with Warren in some of those cases.
Phil, how is the airport Valet Express doing?
I thought you would never ask, Tina.
And what we're talking about here is a way for folks here in the valley to get that almost 100 miles to get down to LAX, the airport. So
You know, when I took this on, it was just primarily a labor of love and an opportunity to serve our community. I'm a recovering lawyer of over 53 years. I hope to celebrate my 83rd birthday in June. And I was fortunate in that I had a piece of property that was suitable for this service. And when the airport bus that had been operating for over 30 years in our community ceased operations, many people were just left with no reasonable public transportation to get down to the LA airport. So I started that, and we've already celebrated our 1 year in service back on December 19th.
Wonderful.
And it's not been a smooth road.
Yeah.
It's been somewhat bumpy, kind of like Cedric mentioned. There are challenges in life, and there are challenges in business. Somewhere along the line, they determined that the kind of service I provided, which was to charter permitted buses to handle all the traffic, still required me to have a license or a permit in order to market this to the public. So I've had to file an application, although under protest, to the Public Utilities Commission, and it's pending. They've asked me not to speak in any detail while that is pending, and I will respect that. In the meantime, we have worked out an arrangement where the service could continue, and we have a team made up of Silverado Stages, which is a very fine bus company
Oh, yes.
headquartered in San Luis Obispo that's doing business here now, and a company called Silver Lining Travel, and the two of them are handling our management pending the issuance of our own permit. We are blessed in that the people in the community thank me every day for providing this service.
you bet.
And one of the things that we're most proud of, I have to say, is that from the very beginning, before we even knew what our ridership was, we provided free transportation for all of our active military. And that enabled many of them to come home for the holidays that maybe they couldn't have otherwise. The other thing we found out, Don, and this is kind of because of the mentorship that I look to you for, because of your strong family commitments, we also provide free transportation for children up to 10 years old, as long as they're with a paid adult. And that has helped a lot of single mothers and other families that need to travel.
Boy, God bless
Excellent.
you, man.
So we
That
are
is-
very fortunate.
Yes.
We're there at 201 New Stein Road in Stockdale.
Yes.
We have a phone number which is 363-5000. And all you have to do is give us a call if you want to go to LAX.
Wonderful. And it's on the screen, too, Phil.
Now, one of the things that you may not be aware of is that we consider ourselves the gateway to public transportation in Los Angeles. And the way that happens is this. If you take our bus to Los Angeles Airport, they have a system called Flyaway. And for $8, they have about 7 or 8 areas that Flyaway service will take you. It'll take you to downtown where you can board the train or get on the Metrolink. It'll take you to Hollywood, Santa Monica, Westwood, all different places. So someone who doesn't want to drive in LA but has to do business or meet someone there can ride our bus to LAX. Either they're picked up there or they get on a Flyaway bus, go to their destination. When they're done, they come back to LAX, get on our bus, and come to Bakersfield. It saves the environment.
Okay.
It cuts down on accidents and risk for driving the ridge route, and it's been being very well received.
Excuse me, Phil, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we do have 1 minute left.
Okay, so then here's the most important thing that I want to talk about. You know, Don, I didn't realize it, but for 27 years, you have provided heartfelt service to this community. And as a result, I would like to bestow upon you the Fleming Silver Heart Award. Silver Heart Award. And that
Let's show
is
it
a
around.
hand-engraved sterling silver heart. I'd like to see you wear it with pride, and it stands for, it's a little heart that stands for the
Okay.
big heart that you have.
Okay. Thank you, Phil. We got to go. We'll
La-
see you next week.
Lastly, Tina, you have to get
go.
this. Diamonds are
Roll
a
it,
girl's
Chris.
best friend, and so here is a diamond